Hey Feasters, and welcome to episode 101. And today I share with you my biggest challenge in my business so far. The punch in the gut, so to speak, that it is the spark for everything that I'm doing today. Are you ready? Let's dive in. Welcome to the Ask Rezzz podcast. I'm Jason, and I'm here to help you get past those bumps in the road, those struggles, those things that hold you back from building an amazing and profitable freelance business each and every single day. And on the heels of episode 100, where I go into the 3 best things about freelancing, today I'm talking about what has been the biggest challenge in your business so far. And easily, it's been learning about business. So my backstory is that in the early 2000s, I struck out on my own, doing freelance for the first time due to getting laid off from the consultant firm that I was working at. I loved that place. I loved the people. But basically what happened was that the firm that I was working for put all its resources into getting contracts from startups. It allowed for massive growth in the company, but would actually be the undoing of that company as well. Just to give you a frame of reference here, this was early 2000s, like 2000, 2001, 2002. And when I started there, I was around the employee number 600 or so. And in just over a year, the company grew to about 2,400 people. I mean, this is massive growth in that startup.com explosion, right? When I was laid off just over 2 years from which I started, there were only 400 people left in the company. So at that time, I thought my path was pretty clear. I had a skill that was very much in demand, at least from what I could see. And instead of getting a job somewhere else, I thought, well, I would just ramp up my side hustle and become a full-time freelancer. Just shy of 2 years after that, I found myself sitting back in a cube at somebody else's desk. It wasn't my technical skills that were at fault here. In fact, even though the startup bubble had popped, there were still plenty of jobs out there. What I hadn't taken into account was all the other things I needed to run a business. I lacked sales and marketing skills. I lacked knowledge around contracts. I lacked processes and systems to help my business run. And I lacked the knowledge to even know what those would even look like. I was a developer without a platform to develop on, that being clients. So what I found was a lack of money to sufficiently pay my bills, which sparked me having to go get work since my savings account was essentially wiped out. But because I knew what I wanted and where I wanted to go in my own life, I pushed ego aside and reflected on where I was and how it happened. Sure, it was a very tough pill to swallow that I failed. And yes, it was a punch to the gut that I had to go find a full-time position. But it taught me a very valuable lesson in taking something that most would really see as a failure and learn from it. I went back to the cube and said, I'm going to let my development skills stay the course, but I'm going to really ramp up and learn all I can about marketing, sales processes, and learn all that I can about the stuff that I don't know about. And so I did. 4 years later, I quit and I've been my own boss since. If you've been on this journey, you understand the ego bruising, but it's not a journey that you have to be alone on. It's why I'm so passionate about helping you and other developers and designers and marketers through my coaching and feast. Your skills are honed. It's the other things around your awesome skills that need work. I've built that coaching platform. I've built Feast, and this isn't a sales pitch at all, but I'm just sharing with you the genesis of these 2 things. But I've built these things with the pieces of the puzzle that I had to put together. I've been lucky enough to have some of the most inspirational and talented folks go through my coaching program and Feast. In fact, just last week, After only working 1 month together, I had a client, a husband and wife team, land their first client on their monthly services. Yes, they had a monthly service, but it was much like all the other maintenance packages and plans that you see on the web today. We worked on figuring out how to market to their ideal client, how to present the service offering, and what the back end of their sales process should be. They had the game plan and executed it perfectly to land a client that before we even started, they would have needed 10 clients to bring in the same revenue per month that this one client has. My passion is to help folks reach the goals that they want by way of their freelance business. This client wants to be able to spend time with their kids and build a business that will allow the husband to leave his full-time job and work solely on the business. That's my fire. That's my aim. That's my goal in life, to help you avoid the struggles and the bumps in the road that I went through, to avoid the biggest challenge I had in my business. If you have a question, ask Rezzz. That's me. By giving me a tweet or dropping me an email, or go ahead to askrezzz.com and use the chat widget and submit your question. Until next time, it's your time to live in the feast.